For this upcoming siege, we have a very unique opportunity that I'm not even sure has ever popped up before, and I want to make sure you are prepared. Hello everybody, I'm Roadblock, and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. So I had a realization today, and I'm sure some of you had the same. We're in a very unique situation with this 100% gear removal cost happening during Siege. So the way it works for defenders, or at least the way that I've been led to believe, is that at the point that the prep phase ends, it takes a snapshot of your defensive teams, locks that in, and that is going to be the gear that is on them for the duration of this experience. However, the attacker team has a huge advantage because you can swap that gear around. Why is that such an advantage? Well, let's say that your team consists and it uses an arbiter, and most of us, especially kind of like early late game, kind of mid game players, we tend to have the fastest gear on our arbiter, right? So in particular, my arbiter is 304 speed. That gear pretty much stays on her all of the time. I don't ever really have a reason to swap this off because it's my best gear and my best speed gear. The unique thing that we're going to be dealing with this particular siege, and again, this may have happened before, but that doesn't really matter. I want to bring it to attention for this siege real quick. If you're looking to be part of my account takeover series, join the Discord below. But a little heads up, I'll be prioritizing accounts that were started with my exclusive promo link. This will also guarantee you a free legendary Elenaril and 3 amazing free epics as you level up. Here's what you need to do. Log out of Player and Play on PC and uninstall. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champ. You'll get Elenaril for free along with Uugo, Tagoar, Rector Drath, and a better chance at a takeover. So click my link right now. Is that we can swap gear accordingly. So let's say I use my arbiter, and this may not be the case for most of you because you may not have as many attack battles as I have, but as a clan leader, I get more attack battle, and I designate my officers so that they get more attack battles. So let's say that I win 2 battles using my arbiter, not as my aura lead. Don't forget, arena auras don't work in Siege. The fix that they made for that only lasted for a short time, and it is gone now, so you need to use all battles auras. But let's say that I use an all battle aura and then I use my arbiter to boost my speed and then a debuffer and a damage dealer, right? Let's say that that's my team and I win 2 battles. Well, now I still can't use my arbiter anymore, but I can use that gear. So because we have, now you could do this regardless if this is going on. And I'm sure that very high end players with a ton of silver probably already do this. But the fact that you have a gear removal cost now means that free to play accounts like this one that only have 19 million silver can be more willing to swap that gear around. How does this benefit us as players? Well, if you think about it, my best gear is on, well, Nice is my best HP gear. My best damage gear is on my Thor on this account. So a little slow at 221 speed, but should be fast enough. 6,000 attack for a free-to-play account. I think that's pretty reasonable. 104 crit rate, 312 crit damage. I like this build. This is a good build, but let's say that I use up my Thor twice. Whether I win or I lose, I use him up. Well, because we have this gear removal cost, I can just save this as a preset, and then I can throw this onto my Georgid. My Georgid is built significantly more different than my Thor, but you would ideally want the same stats on them. They're both attack-based nukers. My Georgid's default gear is only 200 speed. That's too slow, right? Under 5,000 attack, that's too low, although he can get away with lower attack because of his kit, and far less crit rate and crit damage. I will admit, crit damage is going to be a variable that perhaps you won't get to alter that much by rotating gear. And the reason I say that is because sometimes it comes down to the amulet and whether or not you did get a crit damage roll as the blessing on it. And of course, you know, blessings make a difference as well. It's not going to be a perfect 1-to-1, but this is my best nuker gear. And if I put this best nuker gear on a backup nuker, it could even be my Teox, right? That Teox will be more effective than what it would be if I was just leaving it in its existing gear. So I have, on this account, I should have 3 attacks. Let's say that I win both and I use up my Thor. Well, then I'm going to want to sub somebody else in, and that's where I would swap that gear to whatever nuker I decide to go with. It might, if they're an attack-based nuker, it might be Georgid, it might be Teox, it could be Ninja, you know, maybe I see a value there. Who knows, right? I have the opportunity to switch that stuff out for a cheaper value than what I would normally do. And I just found that to be interesting. And this will also work with speed. So I talked about, like, on the free-to-play, on the main account, my fastest speed is on my Arbiter, same on my free-to-play. Only 325 for my Arbiter, pretty slow compared to a lot of other Arbiters, but I'd like to improve that in the near future when I decide to fix myself. But what would I use in place of Arbiter? Who else would be a turn meter booster here? Well, we could take a look, right? So we can go to other effects. We could go to positive effects, fill turn meter. And I could say, okay, well, I could put that gear on my Deacon. You can see my Deacon's already missing one piece of gear and is only 198 speed. If I bring him up to 325 speed, now all of a sudden he's far more valuable and I haven't lost anything. I didn't lose any silver. I just was able to put my best speed gear on somebody that I would want to increase my speed. But be careful because there are drawbacks. My Arbiter has very, very low accuracy because I'm only using her for speed, but for my Deacon, I might be using him for not only to go first, but also to land debuffs, and I would need more accuracy than what my Arbiter has. So there is some variance there. But I wanted to make sure I brought this up to players because I think it's an important distinction and event that is happening in particular for this siege, and I want to make sure that people are taking advantage of it. Likewise, my Lamasu, like I built her recently, and yeah, she's an all feral, but she's quite a bit slow, and the accuracy, despite being an all feral, is pretty low. That's also partly to do with her not having her masteries selected yet. I won't be using her in particular for this siege, but she makes another good example where who's my best debuffer that's also fast. So let me take off this filter, and we might want to take a look and say, you know what, she might make a lot of sense in Odin's gear, right? Odin is 290 speed with 557 accuracy. That makes a lot of sense on Lamasu. Maybe I could get her to be even faster because she has a higher base speed. She's 115 and Odin is 105. So with her higher base speed, she might get more value out of the gear that is on the Odin speed wipe. So there's another thing, right? So just make sure you guys are taking advantage of that when you're doing Siege today, because this video is going to come out the day of the Siege. And I'm going to keep this video nice and short for you guys. That way my editor can have it uploaded and ready to go potentially before you use your attacks in Siege, so you can fully take advantage of this. Is this something you can do every Siege? Yes, but I don't like to do it because then I got to spend potentially millions of silver to swap my gear around on my free-to-play. And on my main account, I have enough good gear to go around, but the free-to-play doesn't have that luxury. So if you're a player that doesn't have the luxury of having 6 really good sets of gear, or well, actually that's a low ball. You know, if you don't have most of your champions in really good gear and you have some of like good champions that are in scraps like I do, now's the time to take that really good gear and throw it down on those champions that might be relatively weaker, but still good champions themselves, and use that to your advantage. So, and while saving silver. So, all right, I've beaten the point to death. Just want to say thank you all so much for the support you guys have been giving me. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. It is the best way to support my channel. We are making a push for 5,000. We're getting so close, and I'm excited to stop talking about it. If there's any reason to subscribe, it's to get me to stop talking about 5,000 as a big milestone. But either way, guys, thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.